Good morning. And welcome to the Polish Museum of America and the national headquarters of the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, celebrating the official State of Illinois Casimir Pulaski holiday. In 1973, in this very room, Governor Dan Walker signed an executive order proclaiming Pulaski Day in Illinois. 13 years later, in 1986, Governor James Thompson signed legislation designating the first Monday in March a state holiday honoring Casimir Pulaski. Since Pulaski's gallant and heroic exploits and his tragic death, his deeds have not been lost to history. There is hardly a state in the Union that does not have a county, a town, a street, or a highway, park, school, or monument named in grateful memory and recognition of General Casimir Pulaski. In 2009, Congress bestowed on honorary citizenship to General Pulaski. May the magnificent spirit of General Casimir Pulaski continue to inspire all Americans with a sense of duty to country, pride, a spirit of mission, and the never-ending struggle for human dignity and freedom. In such a manner, we Americans can honor the soldier of liberty, this undaunted warrior who sacrificed his life for the cause of American independence. As we prepare for the celebrations of the 250th anniversary this year of our independence, we should reflect on all of those who, like Pulaski, came to support the fight for freedom and liberty. Pulaski, just like Kościuszko and countless other Poles, have rallied behind the centuries-old slogan, "For your freedom and ours." I would like to also welcome those who are viewing today's program via the streaming platform. I especially want to welcome our sister organizations in London, Paris, Rome, Rapperswil, Switzerland, Montreal, Toronto, Buenos Aires, Australia, New York, Los Angeles, Detroit, and of course, in Poland. For our guests streaming today's program, a book is available on our website. I'd like to introduce now the president of the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America to open with remarks.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is my distinct honor and deep privilege to welcome you to the 2026 Casimir Pulaski Day celebration here in the great state of Illinois. Each year on the first Monday in March, we gather to commemorate the birth and enduring legacy of Casimir Pulaski. His courage, his commitment to liberty, his unwavering belief in freedom, these reflect the very ideals upon which this nation was founded. He gave his strength and ultimately his life for a cause greater than himself. His sacrifice reminds us that liberty is never guaranteed. It must be defended, protected, renewed by every generation. This year carries a special meaning. In 2026, we mark the 250th anniversary of the founding of this great country, 2.5 centuries since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, 250 years of striving, of sacrifice, and of progress. And through it all, America's strength has come from people who believed deeply in its promise and were willing to serve it. Pulaski stands among the earliest of those patriots abroad, and in the generations that followed, Polish Americans have shaped every corner of our society, strengthening our neighborhoods, enriching our culture, serving in our armed forces, and contributing with resilience, faith, and determination. Here in Illinois, the only state in the nation to formally recognize Pulaski Day as a public holiday, we proudly honor that heritage. For decades, this celebration has brought together leaders, families, and communities, reminding us of the enduring bonds between Poland and the United States. We also recognize the institutions that preserve this legacy, including the Polish Museum of America and the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America. Through their dedication, history is remembered, culture is celebrated, and community is strengthened. As we gather in celebration today, we are mindful that many parts of the world continue to experience conflict and uncertainty. In times like these, we are reminded how precious peace truly is, and how essential it is that nations choose dialogue over division, cooperation over conflict. As we honor General Pulaski, let us recommit ourselves to the principles for which he fought: freedom, dignity, unity, and hope. May this day renew our sense of purpose. May it strengthen the bonds that unite us, and may it inspire us to build a future worthy of the sacrifices that brought us here. To all who join us in celebration and remembrance, thank you. Thank you for carrying this legacy forward with pride, with dignity, and with an unshakable belief in a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.
Will you please rise for the presentation of colors presented by the Tadeusz Kościuszko Polish Lancers Society.
To perform the national anthems, please welcome soprano Eva Kovch-Fair and pianist Kamil Bundyra.
Z ziemi włoskiej do Polski
Andare, attraverso. Please be seated. I call upon our chaplain of the Polish Museum of America, Father Robert Będziński, pastor of Holy Trinity Church.
I'm sorry, please stand for the prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God of justice and freedom, we gather in gratitude on this day of remembrance, honoring the life and sacrifice of Kazimierz Pulaski, a son of Poland and a defender of liberty in America. We thank you for his courage in the struggle for freedom, for his willingness to serve a cause greater than himself, and for the unity his legacy represents between nations and peoples. Bless our city of Chicago and all who commemorate Kazimierz Pulaski Day, strengthen in us the virtues he embodied: honor, perseverance, and faithful service. Grant that we may defend human dignity wherever it is threatened, stand firm in truth, and work tirelessly for peace rooted in justice. May the memory of sacrifice inspire respect, hope. Amen. May bless you, Almighty God, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
You may be seated.
Wesoły lud. To officially open today's commemoration, I call upon State Treasurer Michael Frericks to officially open our holiday. Michael?
Great. Thank you. Drodzy panie i panowie, jestem Michał Frericks. Jestem skarbnik stanu Illinois. Dzień dobry. Oh, dziękuję, dziękuję. My Polish runs out very quickly. Despite the best efforts of my wonderful staff, which include Daniel Pogosiewski, Bogusław Kwasny, and Basha Halko, my Polish still needs a lot of work. I would love to be able to deliver these remarks in Polish, but I don't think it's appropriate. Because Kazimierz Pulaski does not just belong to Polish speakers. He belongs to America. And that is why Illinois is recognizing today as Pulaski Day, or Pulaski Day, as we say here. We recognize him for his life and for his sacrifice. A sacrifice that ensured we won the Revolutionary War and that we have the freedoms we enjoy today. But it wasn't something that just came to him in that battle. He was a fighter for freedom against tyranny, against Russia before he came here. And that's a legacy that Poland uplifts today. At a time of an authoritarian dictator looking to conquer land that does not belong to him, Ukraine has had no stronger ally than the Republic of Poland. And I appreciate the work they have done standing by their allies and welcoming in their refugees so generously. So, dziękuję. Thank you. So I want to speak in English because, like I said, there are lots of people who don't speak Polish who should hear these words, who should hear this story and should learn these lessons. You know, we celebrate Pulaski Day because of Kazimierz Pulaski, but Illinois is the only state that celebrates it because we also appreciate the contributions of Poles and Polish Americans to our state and here in Illinois. We recognize the relationships we have in trade, in culture, a partnership with our National Guard, and several sister city relations. I also recognize the immense value of Polish Americans because I married one of them. And I have helped to grow Polonia here in Illinois by welcoming two twin boys just a couple of years ago. So on behalf of the state of Illinois, thank you for being here today. Happy Kazimierz Pulaski Day. But I also want to say, as state treasurer, I'm kind of in charge of money. And as some Poles may say, zawsze chodzi o kasę. Good, I delivered that line well enough. It's all about the money. And that's why last year I was so proud to announce that for the first time, Illinois had invested $15 million in Republic of Poland bonds. I did that not because Chicago and the suburbs are one of the largest Polish populations in the world. I did that not because of our trade and our military alliance and our sister city relations. I did that not because of my wife and my two boys who have Polish blood in their veins. I did it because it was a wise investment. Because Republic of Poland bonds are stable, they diversify our portfolio, and they yield great returns. Matter of fact, they are performing much better than U.S. Treasury notes. And we have received 2 payments so far, another one on March the 18th, and we will have made over $1 million for the taxpayers of the state of Illinois. By working with the Republic of Poland, we are making Illinois wealthier. Every dollar we can earn in interest income is a dollar that doesn't have to be raised in taxes. And that helps everyone here in this state. So I just want to say thank you to the Republic of Poland. Thank you to Kazimierz Pulaski and your legacy. And z całego serca dziękuję wam. Thank you very much. You know, actually, I said it's all about the money here. In the Treasurer's Office, we not only make money, we also like to give away money. And in honor of Kazimierz Pulaski Day, we looked up and we found $794 for St. Michael 1457 Polish Roman Catholic Union. Would there be someone here who would like to claim that money? We looked a little further. We found the Polish Ulan Society 495, $3,666. Any Ulans here? We'll get some. And also we found the Polish Highlanders Alliance, $5,651. I know we have some people here today that we would like to get that money to. When we invest in Poles and Polish Americans, we all benefit. Dziękuję. I am joined here today by my fellow constitutional officer, fellow financial officer, and fellow person smart enough to marry a Polish American, Susanna Mendoza.
Thank you. Whoa. Thank you, Treasurer Frerichs. I do want to say we share many things in common, but height is not one of them. Dzień dobry, my friends. It's wonderful to be here with you. And I just want to say thank you to Richard. As always, you put together an amazing show. And Michael, or Treasurer Frerichs, I should say, who's done an amazing job as a fiscal partner in the state of Illinois. I've been very honored and privileged to get to work with him and see his leadership firsthand. And he's absolutely right that the better job he does, the less taxes people have to pay. It's one less dollar we have to look for. And in this case with Poland, it's $1 million less we have to worry about. And he multiplies that exponentially. So thank you for the wonderful job you've done and the partnership that you've provided in terms of financial office. I also want to say he did a wonderful job right now of playing Santa to several people. But all of you should go home today, or even before you get home, you should go to iCash Illinois, which is a program that he runs in the Treasurer's Office, to see if you're owed money by the state of Illinois. So don't just leave it up to the organizations. You will be shocked to know that in this room, it would kind of feel like Oprah, right? Check under your seat, there's a car. No, there's not. But I promise you that there will be a significant number of people in this room right now who, if you go to his website and check out his iCash Illinois, the state owes you money. Now, the best part about this is, on that website, we will not know if you owe us money. It's only to give you your money back. So take advantage of it. iCash Illinois, run by Treasurer Michael Frericks. And on that note, I just want to say thank you again for the invitation to speak with you, as we've done for so many years in a row now. It's really been an incredible opportunity to celebrate General Casimir Pulaski with our friends. I want to say thank you to the Consul General and her staff, as well as all the dignitaries in the room celebrating this auspicious occasion. And a happy Pulaski Day. As you know, I am your state controller, Susana Mendoza. I'm the state's chief fiscal and accountability officer. Michael invests all the state dollars. I manage the books, make sure that our bills get paid on time, faster than ever. And it's in my office that we've really tried to champion the issues of financial transparency and accountability. And I've worked hard to do that when it comes to your money, because you should know how your money is being spent. Now, my husband and son's name is David Shostak, and while I am the very proud daughter of Mexican immigrants, I'm also very proud, as Michael did, to marry a Polish person. And my husband is Polish, and our son is half Mexican, half Polish, and 100% American. And I think that is very true for General Casimir Pulaski, who was not born in this country, yet fought and died for its independence and its freedom. Most recently, I want to just say that I had the opportunity to travel, and I know I mentioned this in prior years that I've been here, that I'd never been to Poland. But last year, I was able to have the blessing of taking my mother-in-law, father-in-law, they're 84 and 88 respectively at the time, with my husband and our son to Polonia. And whether it was at the northern tip in Gdańsk, then making our way to the Malbork Castle, then to Częstochowa, to pray in front of the Black Madonna, then to Krakow, to Zakopane. Every place we went was gorgeous, but the people just felt like home. And so to be able to give this gift to my in-laws, who had never been to Poland, yet raised 9 amazing kids, kept the traditions and the culture alive in their family, and never in their wildest imaginations thought that they would know what it would be like to set foot or have a coffee on Polish land, was very, very special. You can imagine what they felt when they sat and had tea in Parliament with the Speaker and other ministers in Poland. My mother-in-law literally started crying, imagining what her grandparents would think about their sacrifices coming to America, and that someday their granddaughter would be in that room with those very important people from Polonia. So it was an amazing, amazing experience, but I really want to thank you all for making me feel like I am a part of your family, even though I was not born into a Polish family, but rather married into one. Now, besides Poland, there is no better place in the world to celebrate Casimir Pulaski Day than right here in the beautiful city of Chicago, America's city. Because as was already stated, Chicago is has the second largest populations of Polish people outside of Warsaw. And while I am not Polish myself, I clearly know the contributions that have been made right here in the state of Illinois, certainly in the city of Chicago and its neighboring suburbs, from artists and businesses, business owners, laborers, entrepreneurs, from cultural folks in the arts, and of course, very importantly, the food. You and your ancestors are a critically important part of our Chicago history. We're here to honor and remember the father of the American cavalry and his incredible military and leadership skills. And as we know, he gave his life fighting for American independence at the Siege of Savannah in 1779, and is still thankfully celebrated not just by Polish Americans across the country, but by all of us, whether we are Polish or not. And I can't imagine a greater love for America than to fight for its freedom, its independence, and die for it when it's not even your country of birth. That is who General Casimir Pulaski is, and that is who all of us should strive to tap into, that love of country and fellow man. And we are here, of course, as I wrap up, to celebrate all of you. Thank you for being a vibrant and important part of our community, whether it's in the city of Chicago or in a suburb, anywhere in the state of Illinois. You are most welcome, most appreciated. And I want to say, as I sign off here, that this is in fact my last year serving as your controller. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support, for your votes, and for your trust. It has been my greatest privilege and honor to get to serve you. Thank you. God bless you. Dziękuję, dziękuję, dziękuję.
Thank you, Michael and Susanna, as the constitutional officers of the state of Illinois, to officially open our commemoration today. I'd like to take you down now memory lane. We have a short little video, and I think you may recognize some of the faces on this video.
Dzień dobry. Happy Pulaski Day.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
I would like to start off by first of all saying dzień dobry to everybody.
To nie tylko zaszczyt, ale i wielka przyjemność być ponownie w tym najbardziej polskim z amerykańskich miast.
It is with great pleasure that I speak to you today on Kazimierz Pułaski Day.
W tym dniu generała Kazimierza Puławskiego stajemy razem, aby pamiętać.
So the truth be told, I realized when I got out of bed this morning that this is the 27th year that I have been coming here.
W zeszłym roku mówiłem po polsku, ale koledzy mnie nie rozumieli. So I think this year I'll speak in English.
Chciałem serdecznie przywitać wszystkich przybyłych, aby uhonorować życie działalność Kazimierza Pułaskiego.
Illinois is the only state in the Union that recognizes Pulaski Day as an official state holiday.
This year we celebrate the 100th anniversary of formal diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Poland.
So I do in my household have a very wonderful strategic alliance between my parents came from Mexico, but my husband's family came from Poland. So it's a wonderful strategic alliance. Don't you agree?
Yes, I am Jan Czakowski. I represent a district that actually is 10% Polish.
I will say, when I was a sponsor of the original visa waiver, and somebody continues to advocate it, you do not treat a first-class friend like a second-class citizen.
I came to report to you on our efforts with Congressman Quigley to get the visa waiver program.
Kazimierz Pulaski famously wrote to General Washington, "I came here where freedom is being defended, to serve it, and to live and die for it."
We remember General Pulaski for his skills in battle, his commitments to freedom, and his willingness to give up his life for America's independence.
Pulaski not only gave his life for this country, but gave his life for the freedom that we enjoy
and embrace that opportunity to carry it forward, not only for ourselves, but for future generations.
God bless the great nation of Poland, God bless the people of Illinois, and God bless the United States of America. Dziękuję. Dziękuję.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce the Consul General of the Republic of Poland in Chicago, Regina Jurkowska. Pani Konsul.
Dzień dobry Państwu. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. It's a true honor to join you today at the Polish Museum of America as we celebrate Pulaski Day and pay tribute to one of the greatest heroes shared by Poland and the United States of America. Allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to President Ryszard Owsiany and the entire team of the Polish Museum of America for organizing these annual commemorations with such dedication and care. The museum does far more than preserve history. It keeps alive the spirit of a man whose life became a bridge between two nations. Your work ensures that General Pulaski is not merely remembered, but truly understood and honored. For nearly half a century, since 1977, representatives of state and local authorities, alongside leaders of the Polish-American community, have gathered here in Illinois to pay tribute to General Kazimierz Pulaski. This tradition speaks volumes. It's a testament not only to his courage and sacrifice, but also to the enduring respect the state of Illinois shows towards its vibrant Polish-American community. Pulaski was more than a military commander. He was a soldier of freedom. He fought first for the sovereignty of his homeland, Poland, and then for the independence of the United States, ultimately giving his life on American soil. His bravery at Savannah secured his place in American history. His unwavering devotion to liberty secured his place in the hearts of two nations. The partnership between Poland and the United States, so powerfully symbolized by Pulaski among other Polish famous figures, continues to thrive today. Our cooperation spans political dialogue, security and defense, economic exchange, culture, education, and science. What began with shared ideals of freedom and self-determination has grown into a strong, strategic, and forward-looking alliance. Here in Chicago, home to one of the largest Polish communities outside Poland, the memory of General Pulaski carries particular meaning. For generations, the Polish-American community has nurtured the bonds between our countries, strengthening them throughout civic engagement, cultural life, entrepreneurship, and public service. Celebrating Pulaski is therefore not only an act of remembrance, it's an affirmation of a living legacy. This year's commemoration holds additional significance as the United States marks the 250th anniversary of its founding. At this historic milestone, the figure of Kazimierz Pulaski reminds us that America's story has always been shaped by those who believed in freedom deeply enough to fight for it, no matter where they were born. Pulaski's patriotism, courage, and sacrifice unite Poland and the United States across centuries. His name is permanently inscribed in the history of this great nation and in the shared history of our two nations. May his example continue to inspire us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a distinct honor for the Polish Museum of America and the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America to introduce to you the mayor of one of the greatest cities in the world. Please welcome Mayor Brandon Johnson.
I know there's a bias here with Warsaw, but Chicago is the greatest freaking city in the entire world. So I just want to make sure that that point is clear. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and dzień dobry. It is an honor to join you all to celebrate General Kazimierz Pulaski, an incredible contributor not just to Poles and Polish Americans, but to the entire globe. Let me first again thank the host, the Polish Museum of America and President Richard Owsiany, and the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America and President Angus Baszczyk, the first woman to hold that role, and congratulations, Angus. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge the Mayor's Office Director of Veteran Affairs and our liaison to the Polish community, Mr. Kevin Barces, along with all the elected leaders that are here today. As our nation marks the 250th anniversary of its independence this year, this is a meaningful opportunity to reflect on the legacy of General Kazimierz Pulaski, the father of the American cavalry. He was a son of Poland who gave his life fighting for the independence of another nation, because that's how strongly he believed in freedom and liberation. In fact, he believed in America's independence so ardently that he could hardly wait for the Continental Congress's approval to join the fighting. He voluntarily jumped into the battle and, alongside Commander George Washington, mounted a guard at a critical moment during the Battle of Brandywine, saving the Continental Army and likely George Washington's life. Kazimierz Pulaski's story is one of courage and sacrifice. We proudly weave him into the story of Chicago, continuing to celebrate Kazimierz Pulaski Day across the great state of Illinois. The spirit that brought Pulaski to America, the belief that freedom is worth fighting for anywhere in the world, did not end with him. It lives in our enduring Polish motto, for our freedom and yours. We saw the same spirit when Polish soldiers stood with the people of Haiti in their fight to become the first free black republic in the Western Hemisphere. And throughout its history, Poland has understood both the pain of losing freedom and the responsibility of defending it, not only for its own people, but for all who seek dignity and self-determination. From America to Haiti and beyond, the call has been the same: freedom is worth sacrifice, and liberty binds us all together. Pulaski's spirit is reflected in the generations of Polish immigrants who have come to Chicago and who have shaped the soul of our city. Our city is proudly home to the largest Polish population outside of Poland, and their heritage is intertwined with the fabric of our beloved city. Polish culture and customs thrive in our classrooms, businesses, civic organizations, unions, and workplaces. Chicago's connection to Poland is deep. Warsaw became Chicago's first sister city in 1960, and exemplifying the importance of Chicago and Poland's bond. Generations of Polish artists, entrepreneurs, public servants, and leaders have strengthened Chicago, contributing their skills, faith, and hope to our city. In so many ways, Polish immigrants and Polish Americans made Chicago the great global city that it is today. And in closing, today and every day, my administration is committed to honoring our Polish community, investing in our neighborhoods, and protecting our city's immigrant communities, no matter where they come from. Kazimierz Pulaski helped win our nation's fight for freedom 250 years ago, and now we must be as courageous and eager as we defend our freedom today. As we celebrate Kazimierz Pulaski today, let us adopt his values and recommit ourselves to the continuing fight for freedom and liberty for all. And let us continue to strengthen our city through proud cultural celebrations like this one, which makes it very clear to everyone that everyone is welcome here. And so thank you again. God bless this great city, and happy Kazimierz Pulaski Day.
Yeah, one of the things as president of the Polish Museum of America, one of my jobs is to raise money and to keep this historic place moving. And events like this would not happen if it wasn't for the generosity of our sponsors. I'd like to recognize PNC Bank, Kasia's Pierogies, the Copernicus Foundation, and the Polish Slavic Federal Credit Union. Thank you so much for your support, enabling us to organize today's event. And on that note, I'd like to introduce one of our oldest friends from outside the Polish community. She needs no introduction. Please welcome Maria Pappas.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to acknowledge Frank Spula. Frank, Polish Citizen of the Year. Stand up, Frank. He has dedicated his entire life to this community, to his family, his brothers, his sisters, and everyone. Frank gave it up for everyone. I also want to acknowledge this year we lost Don Versen, who was an amazing Polish gentleman. He helped me when I first started in the treasurer's office. But you know what? Every year is a challenge for me, what I'm going to say here. So I always call Margaret and say, Margaret, what am I going to talk about? And she said, oh, this year you're going to talk about Pulaski and Kosciuszko because it's Kosciuszko's 250 years. I'm like, seriously? So I called Paul Kiewa in my office, who's an amazing Polish-American kid who grew up dancing with the Highlanders on Archer Avenue. And get this, he wrote me a 2-page speech. He even did a chart comparing Pulaski and Kosciuszko. And you know what? He talked about courage and commitment and leadership, Pulaski Park, Kosciuszko Street. And I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. My husband says to me, what are you doing? I said, I'm on ChatGPT. He said, what are you doing on ChatGPT at 2 in the morning? I said, you know, Paul Kiewa and Margaret told me what to say at the museum, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. So you know what? Jan, you're out of business. ChatGPT says that in 1935, the Polish Museum of America was created with the Polish Roman Catholic Union. How about that? And it goes on to say it was created to preserve Polish and Polish-American art, exhibits, artifacts, publications. There are 100,000 Polish books and American books in here that you can go through and read. It has everything in here from the 1939 World's Fair in New York, okay? Everything about Pope John Paul's visit here to this museum. Anybody who's anybody from Poland, prime ministers, etc., have come through here. But you know what? Every time I see Rich, and every time I see Margaret, I say, how's the museum going? They say, you know what? The electric bill went up, the phone bill went up, the salaries went up. So I am really proud today that the electeds who came here didn't come just because there's 130,000 Chicago votes and 720,000 Polish countywide or in this area. They came here because they too believe in this museum. I want them to stand because they are contributing today. Susan Mendoza, $1,000, stand. Mike Fredericks, $1,000, stand. Congressman Quigley, $1,000. I brought with me Joe Holberg, stand. Jamal Green, stand. Diana Marslick, a Polish judge. Fritz Kagi, assessor of Cook County, stand. Holly Kim, candidate for state comptroller. We raised $9,000. How about that? I am so, okay, you can sit down. I'm so proud of them. You know what? They didn't just show up here for votes. They showed up here to give something to this museum. I'm in the mayor's race with 4 of them, and I love them. Mendoza, Jamal, where are you? Holberg, Quigley. How about that? How about that? And they're here, and I love them. Brandon, you too. All right, so there's 5 people here. What are you going to do? All right? How about that? I love you guys. Give to the museum. These people didn't just show up here to get your vote. They showed up here to preserve this great Polish-American nation. I love you guys. I'll see you next year.
Who can follow that, huh? Maria has been with us for as you saw in the video, at that time, 27 years, but now it's got to be closer to 37 years. And every year, Maria, not only at Pulaski Day, where she supports us with a donation, but also throughout the year, she supports our gala.
I forgot to give you my 1,000.
Oh, that's the first one we're going to get. Not only does she, contribute, but she also comes to our events. She comes to our workshops. She comes to the gala, and it's friends like that encourages all of us here at the museum to continue the work of making sure this institution survives. I'd like to bring my co-host back to continue the program.
And thank you, Mrs. Pappas, for calling out the 90th anniversary of the Polish Museum of America last year. It was amazing. And the 150 years of Polish Roman Catholic Union of America just a short time before that. So it's very important to support these institutions. Before we call up the next speaker, we would like to recognize the clerk of the Circuit Court, Mariana Spiropoulos. Thank you for joining us today. And now please join me in welcoming the President of the Polish American Congress, Mr. Hubert Choromsky.
So it wasn't nice that Maria bumped me because it's hard to follow her, but on behalf of the Polish American Congress, I'm honored to join all of you to honor Kazimierz Pulaski, a man who stood for what this country, he stood for this country, left his native Poland to help the U.S. fight for what he believed to be a formula for the freedom of the world. He lost his life fighting for this country. I stand before you today leading an organization filling big shoes of Mr. Frank Spula after 20 years of running the Polish American Congress. I stand before you today to fight for freedom and for the land of its ancestors. The organization was formed in '44 to fight for Poland, torn by wars, changing borders, socialism, and communism. I am the son of immigrants who stands before you to stress the need for unity in the Polish-American community. It is here and now that has the responsibility to our children to honor the likes of Pulaski and his historical significance, but more importantly, to continue the need to promote the sacrifices of our forefathers. Show the gathered here today that Polonia is a force to be recognized and reckoned with. I lean out to every one of the politicians sitting in this crowd. We need Polish American representation in the city, the state, and the country. I beg to you to look at us. We are some of the most significantly educated in the state, in the country, and very much in the city. So I'm putting a little pressure on you. Polonia and its contributions to this country is not only historic, but it continues to grow in all aspects, educational, business, and social sectors. I am humbled to step in the shoes of my predecessors, but also see and respect the groundwork and sacrifices that they have done to continue to strengthen Polish Americans in this country. Last known numbering 10.5 million in the country and also 1.5 million in Chicago proper metro. So Maria 750 was okay, but not quite accurate. Our mission is simple. The best way to honor Kazimierz Pulaski is to continue his strength and his legacy for Polonia and strengthen Polonia through it. Through unity, education, exposure, and most important, the biggest freedom we have as Polish Americans representing Polonia is the right to vote. Thank you.
Before I call our next speaker, I'd like to recognize several people in the audience today. I'd like to recognize Jessica Mostowski from the City of Des Plaines, who's here today with us. Holly Kim, Lake County Treasurer. And Alderwoman Ruth Cruz from the 30th Ward. This next person who I'm about to recognize is a very, very special person to the Polish community, special person to the Polish Museum, and a very special person to me as a close friend and growing up with his family and always happy to see him here. He's one of the last surviving warriors of the home army that fought under the Powstanie Warszawskie, the Warsaw Uprising in 1944. Will you please welcome Tadeusz Gubała. Mr. Gubała was 14 years old when he fought during the uprising with tens of thousands of other youth, particularly Polish scouts, of which he was one during World War II. And we're always glad to see him when he comes to one of our events. Our next speaker is not a stranger to the museum. I've known our next speaker for many, many years. We both started working at City Hall at the same time back in a long time ago. And I'd like to introduce the Congressman of the 5th Congressional District, Congressman Michael Quigley.
Today we salute a soldier, one so critical to the beginning of our democracy. But we do this at a time when our soldiers are yet again in harm's way. Our thoughts today should and must be with them, especially those we have just lost, and our thoughts are with their family as well. It reminds us of another bloody anniversary of the war in Ukraine, led by the bloodiest of tyrants, Putin. I have been to Poland since this conflict started 7 times. I have been to Ukraine 5 times since this war has started. I will tell you that our military, intel, and governmental experts in both those countries, our allies in Ukraine and Poland, our military, intelligence, and governmental experts say the same thing. If we don't stop Putin now and here, we will be fighting in the Baltics and on Polish land. They are not asking for our soldiers, they're asking for our help. At this critical juncture, we must do more. We were reminded today that Kazimierz Pulaski fought against Russian interference and control in Poland before joining the American Revolution. It's equally fitting that we do everything in our efforts as he would to fight that Russian atrocities in Ukraine and Eastern Europe, to protect a sovereign democratic country from being wiped off the face of the earth. He's with us today. We all need to be with our Ukrainian allies today as well. Thank you all, and God bless.
Now we are proud to recognize the generous support of the Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union. Please welcome Director Bogdan Ogórek.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear honored guests, it is an honor for me to stand before you today and represent nearly 130,000 members of the Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union, an institution deeply rooted in the Polish community here in the United States. This year holds an extraordinary meaning for all Americans as we celebrate 250 years of American independence. We reflect not only on the birth of a nation, but on courage, sacrifice, vision that shaped it. The story of American freedom is a story written by many hands, united by belief in liberty. Among those who stood shoulder to shoulder in the fight for independence were 2 remarkable sons of Poland, Kazimierz Pulaski and Tadeusz Kościuszko. General Pulaski, remembered as the father of American cavalry, gave his life in the cause of American freedom. General Kościuszko, brilliant military engineer, designed fortification that helped secure crucial victories. Their bravery was not only mentioned by personal gain, by shared belief that freedom is universal and worth defending whatever it is threatened. But Pulaski and Kościuszko are not just figures in our history books. They are symbols of much broader and continuing contribution. For generations, Polish immigrants have come to America seeking opportunity and freedom, built their homes, businesses, and strengthened the neighborhoods across the country. They raised families grounded in faith, hard work, and respect for community. Every day, millions of Polish Americans continue to celebrate and contribute to this nation, not always in the spotlight, but always with dedication and integrity. Our parishes, cultural organizations, and community institutions have preserved language, tradition, and faith while embracing the values and responsibilities of American citizens. We are proud to be Polish. We are proud to be American, and above all, we are proud to be part of a country where heritage is not erased but celebrated. This year also is especially meaningful for our institution. The Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union proudly celebrates 50th anniversary. For 5 decades, our credit union has served more than a financial institution. It has been a pillar of stability, a trusted partner for families and small businesses, and a testament to what the united community can achieve from modest beginnings built on a trust and mutual support. We have grown to the largest ethnic credit union in the United States, while remembering true to and being true to our founding mission, people helping people. As we honor 250 years of American independence, we also look ahead. The spirit that brought Polish patriot to America in the 18th century, and immigrants that follow to the same spirit that guides us today, a spirit of resilience, faith, hard work, and hope. May we continue to build on the sacrifices of those who came before us. May we strengthen the bonds between our communities. And may we ensure that the next 250 years of this great nation are guided by the same principles of freedom, opportunity, and unity that inspire its founding. On behalf of all the volunteers and all the employees of Polish and Slavic Federal Union, I'd like to thank you, and thank you for being a part of this celebration. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Poland, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Bogdan. Just informational fact, the credit union has a program where they encourage their members to support an institution's, nonprofit institutions such as the Polish Museum of America. We became a sponsoring institution last year, and in, I want to say 16 months since we became institutional members of the credit union, 3,000 members have joined the Polish Museum of America as members of the museum. Thank you to the credit union for that effort. I'd also like to mention that today gathered here we have the leadership of the Polish community. And these are leaders of different organizations, different groups who day in, day out, weekends and throughout the year organize events, organize symposiums, organize anything that commemorates and supports and promotes our Polish heritage. A big thank you to all the organizations that are here today. I'd also like to thank one more sponsor. Without the board, the PMA board helping and supporting us financially, a lot of things would not be possible. Thank you to Małgorzata Palka and Daniel Sobel, both life members, and Małgorzata, who's a member of the board, for also making a donation as a sponsor for today's event. Moving on, we have a very special introduction to be presented. I'd like to call upon the Vice President of the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America and the Vice Chair of the Polish Museum of America, Micheline Jamiński.
Thank you. The bravery exhibited by General Pulaski serves as an inspiration for all of us to cherish our heritage and citizenship. Some individuals respond to this call to action more vigorously than others, contributing to the Polish-American community through leadership and proactive measures. Our upcoming speaker, who truly requires no introduction, as everybody knows his name, has a remarkable history of accomplishments in various capacities, most notably as president of the Polish National Alliance and the Polish-American Congress, and more recently as Person of the Year. But where did this journey commence? It is quite appropriate to continue this celebration of Frank Spula here at the PRCUA headquarters, which is the forever home of the Polish Museum of America and housed the PRCUA Polish dance school that he attended in his youth. My story, you can applaud that, he started to the PRCUA. My story is the direct opposite. I started with P&A and continued with the PRCUA. Although we crossed paths, we continue to work for the good of the Polish-American community. Frank, here is a token of our appreciation from the PRCUA for your lifetime of achievements and wish you continued success on your life's journey of leadership. President Agnes Bostrzyk from the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, and my friendship.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly a pleasure for me to be here this morning to see our elected official, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Today, this is really a surprise for me, to say the least. But you know, I've been involved as Ms. Yaminsky, or as I called her, Misha, in the committee for many, many years. As she said, I didn't expect this here today, but you know, I used to attend this organization every Saturday for many, many years. It's a little bit of dancing, and then some playing on the accordion. If that's what, you know, that's what do I play? I do play the accordion. It was my brother and I, for many years we came here. So there's a relationship not only with this organization, but also with our community as well from our very young ages. So I want to congratulate or thank the Polish Roman Catholic Union and the Museum of America for presenting this award to me. God bless you and thank you. And thank you for your friendship more than anything else. You know, I have been coming here for many, many years, and I've recognized some of the familiar faces when I hear, you know, Maria Pappas talk about this organization. It goes back for decades. And I remember her when she first ran for office. It was in this particular room that she announced her candidacy, and she's been reelected for so many years. And that's because, you know why? She's been part of our community for all these years. And I'd like to extend my best wishes to all the elected officials that are here today as well for continued success and reelection in your upcoming campaigns. You know, it's really a privilege for me to be here in this beautiful museum, which preserves our history, safeguards our treasure, and reminds us who we are as a community. Thank you to the museum board for hosting this annual event for all these years. Thank you, because without you, we wouldn't be celebrating this event. Listening to the remarks of our previous speakers, I'm always struck how powerful Pulaski's story remains throughout all these years. We acknowledge what he represented, freedom and the truths for which he fought for. In observing General Pulaski Day, we not only a hero of two nations, but also celebrate the generation of Polish immigrants and Polish Americans who have shaped our culture, civic, and economic life in our country. Having attended all the celebrations, I witnessed firsthand the remembrance and renew our pride. His spirit lives not only in the statues and parades, but in everyday contributions of Americans who continue to lead, serve, and give back. His life was tragically cut short. Yet it serves as a powerful reminder that we are never too young and never too old to get involved. What matters is that we act in our communities. He came to our country at the age of 32, and his life was taken at the age of 34. We live in a polarized society here in the United States, Poland, and countries. This results in struggle and escalating in military conflict. Democracy is what he fought for, is based on respect and freedom of expression. Unfortunately, history repeats itself so many years later. Shame on us and shame on all these individuals that we're reliving the past, which is awful and disgusting. Pulaski and others have given their lives so that we can enjoy independence and democracy, something that we should be grateful every day of our lives. Freedom should never be taken for granted. Pulaski is an important part of the Polish-American history, remembered by giving his life to future generations so that we can enjoy freedom and liberty. We should never forget those men and women who fought for freedom over the years and every war in this country. They gave their lives in struggle. Like Pulaski, their courage reminds us that liberty comes with sacrifice and that we honor by protecting the freedoms they secured. Every day, we owe our thanks and gratitude to the men and women in the military who defend our country, protect our borders, and safeguard our rights, including the right to vote. We should also honor our law enforcement that protect us, and they work tirelessly in our community. We should remember the military folks that were killed this past weekend in Iran. They gave their lives, probably the first time they were there, but they gave their lives for democracy and for freedom, protecting other people's rights. We have elections coming up, or they've already started. We need to be involved in our communities. We've heard the President Chiromsky talk about that. We need to be active. In order to have our voices heard, we need to vote. If you don't vote, you really don't count. Our elected officials want to hear from us. They want to hear our demands, what our concerns are. And the only way you do that is by what? Communicating with them, getting involved in our community boards, on school boards, on local councils, our councils that we have within our communities. We need to be involved to have our voices heard. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to thank the museum. I'd like to thank the museum for their recognition here this morning, which is a total surprise, and you, ladies and gentlemen, that you come here. Because, again, I was thinking, what brings us all here? Every year, some of us, I see so many familiar faces, and I see some new faces. But, again, what brings us here? And, you know, it's that recognition that we honor somebody like Casimir Pulaski, who fought for freedom, for your freedom and ours. So I want to say thank you, and God bless you, and let's vote.
Please join me in welcoming State Senator Robert Martwick.
Dzień dobry. Good morning. It is, as a proud son of Polonia, it is an honor to be with each and every one of you today. Thank you to all of our elected leaders for joining this wonderful celebration of everything that is Polonia. You know, we hear so much on this day about the significance of General Pulaski and the sacrifice that he made. And what I want to do today is, instead of just repeating what so many have said, but rather talk to you about the message that General Pulaski has for me in my life and how it's changed the way that I do what I do and how I serve. I grew up in Polonia. My father was a former president of the Advocate Society, and we were engaged and involved in so many organizations in Polonia throughout history. In fact, my father was one of his greatest moments of pride was receiving the Copernican Award from the Copernicus Foundation for his work in helping obtain the beautiful building that now the Copernicus Center sits in. And I look at my friend Hubert here nodding. When he received that award, it really meant a lot to him, and he continues to this day to have that pride, and our family really embraces our pride in Polonia and our culture, and it's so great to celebrate today. But what is the message? And so I'm going to come back to the Copernicus Center, but before I do, I think about the general. And we all know his famous quote, right? Literally offering his life for freedom in a land that was not his own. He fought for freedom in his land, didn't work out, and he was run out. But to him, that land of his own, he never forgot his homeland, but establishing a place where people could be free and they could achieve was worth dying for. But for what? So that he could have towns named after him or counties named after him? I doubt that's what he was thinking. As he lay on the battlefield, mortally wounded and bleeding out, do you think he thought to himself, you know, someday in Chicago, there's going to be a museum with an awesome painting, and people will celebrate me? No, but why did he do what he did, right? Why make that sacrifice? And I would say to you that he made that sacrifice not for the moment, not for the present, but for the future, for the people that would follow. He could not have known that millions of Poles would be forced from their land, but he knew that if he did the right thing, if he fought for freedom, and even if it cost him his life, that there would be a place that might welcome them and offer the freedom that was denied, that would give them an opportunity to establish a community so great in cities like Chicago and Detroit and Philadelphia and so many other places, so that Polonia could exist outside of the oppression and the famine and the strife that was happening in their homeland, and we could establish something here. And so those lessons to me are the lessons that matter the most, not the sacrifice that you make in the moment. We know it's a sacrifice. We do not know what it will beget. We do not know what will come of that sacrifice. There's no way that the general could have known what his sacrifice would produce. But as we sit here today, look what it's produced. I love my heritage. Just yesterday, I celebrated a birthday, 60. And I heard Stolat in the background there from someone who might sing it loudly at times. And the greatest moment of pride was the moment that my family finished singing Happy Birthday. The person who led us in Stolat was my 6-year-old son. Okay, and so it continues. But when I look at that 6-year-old son, it's not that he sings Stolat. I say to myself, what is the world that I will lead for him? So the decisions that I make and the decisions that we make, we must remember the next generation. I will say, as I go back to the Copernicus Center, one of my proudest moments in Polonia was when the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person who worked so hard to found everything with the Copernicus Foundation, Mitchell Kobylinski, pulled me aside one day and grabbed me by the ear and pulled me off to the side and said, "Kid, I have never in my life voted for a Democrat, but I'm voting for you." And that meant something to me. It meant that he put the advancement of our culture ahead of his own personal beliefs in the moment. And it's something that I will never forget that moment. I will never forget the faith that he had in me to be a leader, even if he didn't necessarily agree with me. And as we move forward as Polonia, I hope that we will continue to advance people of the next generation. So the loud guy who issued Stolat, 14 years ago, I ran for the Illinois General Assembly after trying a couple times and losing. And I met a young man who came, and he gave so much energy and effort. And I said, someday, if you are in a position, I will help you. And that position, that moment came, and there was an opportunity to help him. And it is one of my greatest moments of pride that I was able to take this young kid who, when I met him, was slicing deli meats at the Dominick's. And I watched him become the greatest advocate for water and for clean water that I'd ever seen. I never saw anyone with so much passion. And it's not surprising, because from the moment I met him, he has been the greatest advocate of Polonia of anyone I've ever met. And so at times when I'm feeling down about things, all I need to do is hang around with him, hear an exceptionally loud stolat, get a hug that probably puts 3 or 4 vertebrae out of whack. But he was the last, and hopefully the next, county-wide elected official to have a Polish name. So please, if you would, help me acknowledge my dear friend, Daniel Pogorzelski. And he's moved up in the world working for the state treasurer now, but someday we'll get him back to elected politics. But as we go forward, that is my message that General Pulaski gives to me, that Polonia reminds me of, is that we must make room for the next generation of leaders, and we must create a world that is better for them than the one that we found. And with that, I say to you, to all of my friends, dziękuję bardzo for this wonderful opportunity to share this day with you.
Thank you, Senator. You know, your remarks remind me of what I often say when I give speeches about the museum, about my heritage. You know, all of us are stewards of our heritage. It's up to us to preserve and to propagate that heritage. And it doesn't matter what that is. Like in Bob's case, it's making sure his family does it. In a lot of our cases, it's taking the role of an officer in an organization. And others, it's just coming to an event. But whatever that is, each one of us has that responsibility of being that steward of our heritage. And thank you, Bob, for joining us and enlightening us about your personal experience. And with that, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, first-time speaker for us at the Pulaski Day event, and we're very, very proud and happy to have Mr. Jan Krul, who's the president of the Polish Highlanders Alliance of North America. Please welcome Mr. Krul.
Good morning, everyone. Dzień dobry wszystkim. Distinguished guests, dear friends, today, here in the heart of Polish Chicago, at the distinguished Polish Museum of America and Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, we honor a man whose name forever unites Poland and America, Kazimierz Pulaski. Let's remember that this celebration in Illinois Polish community begins on Saturday at our Polish Highlander House, where the General's bust is located. Pulaski was born a son of Poland, yet became a hero of America. He fought wherever freedom was threatened and gave his life for the very ideal that binds and our national together, liberty. As the United States marks the 250th anniversary of its independence, we remember that America's story is also the story of immigrants, of courage, faith, and sacrifice. The Polish community of Chicago stands as a living proof the Pulaski spirit endures in our service, in our tradition, and in the way we raise future generations to love Poland while remaining loyal to America. As president of the Polish Highlanders Alliance in North America, I say with pride, we are part of this great story. Honor and glory to the hero of the two nations. Thank you, and thank you so much to the state of Illinois treasurer, to Mr. Mike, for a nice gift. Thank you so much.
The Łowicz Suite, which you will see in the beautiful performance in a moment, was first given to the group at their very first Rzeszów Dance Festival in Poland. The group will now be going for their 14th time, the most of any U.S. Polish folk group in the United States. Please enjoy the dances and songs from the beautiful region of Łowicz performed by Wesoły Lud. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Wesoły Lud. At this time, I am honored to introduce representatives from the Polish American Veterans Association Post 90. Please welcome Vice Commander Tomasz Dąbrowski, Grzegorz Wardawy, and Helena Sołtys.
Good morning, everybody.
I have a big honor today representing Polish Army Veteran Association Post 90 from Chicago. We like to honor a museum, Polish Museum of America, by person. Please step up. Miss Misterka, Halina Misterka. Małgorzata Kot. Mr. Ryszard Owsiany. Many years they celebrating, organize everything for a Pulaski Day. It's time to decorate them Pulaski medal. That medal have a beautiful history. It's made that 97 years ago. Somebody forgot, put to the basement, put to the box. Almost 100 years ago, last year, the people from New York, from National Command, finded this, and it's great time to decorate. That medal was made for 150th anniversary of passing away, dying General Pulaski. It's 3 years ago away to have 250 anniversary of passing away General Pulaski. And it's great time today and big honor for us, for our organization, to decorate these great people. And I think so that today, this day come to memory for everybody. Thank you.
Gratuluję. Szczególne święto, to ładnie koresponduje. Historyczne naprawy, dziękujemy serdecznie. Dziękujemy bardzo. Serdecznie dziękujemy. Serdecznie dziękujemy. Stańcie z nami, stańcie z nami.
Chcielibyśmy prosić jeszcze panią konsul.
Serdecznie dziękujemy. Dziękujemy bardzo.
No, thank you very much to the Polish American Veterans Association as Post 90. I go back with them to my youth. You know, Polish Scouts would have all our events at their building on Irving Park. And going even further back on Wood Street, right down the street from here, we would do our annual fairs there and things like that. So it is very touching and very important for me to get this recognition from what we call SWAP. And thank you so much for that honor. We also have another special presentation. You know, in the Polish Museum of America, you know, everything that you see here somehow gets here. Whether we buy it, like a lot of stuff that was bought from the World's Fair is here. A lot of it was given to us. But we also have people who think about donating artifacts and pieces of importance to the museum that can be shared for all cultures. And today we were surprised when I received a call about 2 weeks ago from one of our members who said that there's a bank that just bought out Pulaski Bank. I forgot about Pulaski Bank. It's on the south side. And in part of the assets that were sold with the bank included a painting of Pulaski. And the leadership of the bank, which is Millennium Bank, decided that the best place to house this painting would be to have it here at the Polish Museum of America. I'd like to ask our curator, Julita Siegel, to give a little background on everything, and there will be a presentation made by Millennium Bank. Julita?
Thank you, President Owsiany. So this painting on display, it was long held by the Pulaski Savings Bank, a Chicago area institution founded in 1890 as the Pulaski Loan and Building Association, serving the city's Polish immigrants and working class residents, particularly in Bridgeport, where the bank was located. They became known for extending credit to borrowers often overlooked by larger commercial banks, including widows and laborers with irregular or undocumented income. When Pulaski Savings Bank merged with Millennium Bank of Des Plaines in 2025, Millennium Bank assumed its deposit accounts and most of its assets, including this wonderful 19th century painting. As we have it on loan here at the museum, the Polish Museum is helping to facilitate in-depth research regarding this painting. But we also have with us today representatives of the Millennium Bank, Vice Chairman Himal Agarwal, Ignacio Vega, Branch Manager, and Joanna Chrzanowski, Branch Manager, who will present a monetary donation to the Polish Museum of America as well. So welcome and thank you for this wonderful contribution to the Polish Museum of America.
Thank you so much. It is truly indeed an honor to have you become our friends now, and we are deeply grateful that you thought about the Polish Museum of America and finding a home for this painting, and it rightly fits to the rest of our collections here, and we are grateful for the donation today of $1,000, and we hope that we'll see you at other events bringing more $1,000 checks. Thank you. Moving on, I'd like to introduce our next speaker who represents the County of Cook. Please welcome Fritz Kagi, the assessor.
Good morning. Dzień dobry. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Agnieszka. Thanks, everyone, for being here today. My wife is a teacher who is not Polish herself, but studied Polish, so she wanted me to get this out of the way. Szanowni Państwo, nazywam się Fritz Kagi. Dziękuję serdecznie za miłe zaproszenie na obchody Dnia Generała Kazimierza Pułaskiego. All right, there we go. You have heard many things about General Pulaski today. But I want to talk about what I see in Polonia, how you are living out the values of General Pulaski every single day, and I see you out there. You know, when I'm at the reviewing stand at Constitution Day and I see the parade of one group after the next, I think of how much hard work that was done by you and the work of generations before you that came and sustained the social and cultural capital that you're building here in Chicago. It's amazing. When I see all the different groups in Polonia that we work with in the assessor's office to make sure that everyone's getting their benefits, to make sure that they're getting information out there, it's you who helped us get to a record level of exemption enrollment for our neighbors in Polonia. We're at record levels because of the work that we've done with you. And when I see all the work that you have done including our Consul General, Zhirkovska, on forewarning about all the dangers that are coming. You have put iron and steel into our relationships that we have. It didn't come to a surprise in anyone in Polonia, that outrageous invasion that Russia's been perpetrating in Ukraine. It wasn't a surprise. And when I see all this work that you do, I see what a great example it is to our other neighbors, our other fellows who are going through, who see you as an example in the Ukrainian American community, in our Baltic American community, in our Armenian American community, in the communities that are growing from Central Asia across the suburbs. They look to you. They've seen all the amazing things that you've done. So I want to salute the teachers, the instructors, the funders, all the people that have sustained what we've been witnessed here today, and thank you. Dziękuję. Before I step down here, I'm morally obligated to remind you all to sign up for homeowners exemptions when we open up in March. 1 out of every 3 homeowners in Polonia does not yet have their homeowners exemption, and it can save you more than $1,000 a year. We have been working with your partnership organizations to get this done, and we want everyone to sign up to get their benefits, because you don't have to be a citizen to get these benefits. Anyone who owns a home in Cook County, regardless of your citizenship, these benefits are yours, and we want to work with you. Thank you. Dziękuję.
And now we would gratefully like to acknowledge the support of PNC Bank. Please welcome Senior Vice President and Regional Manager Jakub Nowak.
Good morning. Dzień dobry. Witam wszystkich. On behalf of PNC Bank and the thousands of employees across the Chicagoland region, I'm honored to join you here today to celebrate the annual Pulaski Day celebration. Thank you to the many distinguished guests who have joined us here today as well. This remarkable room carries a special energy every year. Perhaps it's because of this magnificent painting behind us, reminding us of a pivotal moment in history, shaped by courage, leadership, and the ultimate sacrifice. Or simply because we gather here every year to honor a beloved Chicago tradition. For our Polish community, this day means a great deal. It is a chance to pay tribute to General Pulaski for his bravery, his service, and the lasting legacy he left both in his homeland of Poland and in the United States. It also means a great deal to me personally. I arrived in Chicago in 1993 from a very small town in Poland named Gorlice. Like many Polish Americans, I grew up speaking the language at home to my parents, but I also attended a Polish folk dance group not too far from here on National Avenue called Rzeszowiacy for well over a decade. It is because of that experience that I was able to preserve my heritage, deepen my connection to our culture, and held on to a second language that I can now use both at home and work. Being able to embrace that heritage at work is something I'm extremely proud of. Here in Chicago, hundreds of our Polish-speaking colleagues offer bilingual services at over 40 branches in the Chicagoland region. For more than 100 years, we've helped families, businesses, and community organizations achieve their financial goals. When needed, we stood alongside institutions like this very museum to support their such important mission. We're incredibly fortunate to have one of the nation's oldest ethnic museums right here in Chicago. It's also the home to one of the largest Polish archival collections outside of Poland. I want to express our appreciation to the many dedicated volunteers of the Polish Museum of America, as well as to the dancers who proudly showcase our heritage with the awesome dance and beautiful handmade costumes. Your work to preserve our history and the culture this year, today, is invaluable. Let's please give them another round of applause. Once again, on behalf of all of us at PNC Bank, we're proud to commemorate General Pulaski Day across Illinois. Thank you kindly. Dziękuję serdecznie.
Though she could not be here with us today because she has hearings in Washington, we are pleased to share video remarks from United States Representative Nikki Budzinski of Illinois' 13th Congressional District.
Hi everyone, my name is Nikki Budzinski and I'm honored to represent the 13th Congressional District. I'd like to thank the Polish Museum of America and the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America for inviting me to participate in this celebration. I wish I could be with you all in person. As the only Polish American member of the Illinois Congressional Delegation, I'm so grateful for your work to preserve and celebrate Polish history, culture, and traditions. Here in Congress, I'm proud to be a member of the Congressional Poland and Eastern European Caucus, a bipartisan group dedicated to strengthening U.S.-Poland relations. Poland is one of the United States' strongest allies, and the foundation of that relationship is our shared commitment to freedom. And that commitment dates all the way back to the American Revolution, when Polish heroes like Kazimierz Pulaski aided our fight for independence. Pulaski fought for Polish liberty as a young man, and after meeting Benjamin Franklin in Paris, traveled to the United States to aid the Continental Army. He was a brilliant military tactician, and his battlefield knowledge was essential to success of the revolutionary forces. In 1778, Pulaski was put in charge of the newly formed cavalry, cementing his legacy as the father of the American cavalry. During the 1779 Battle of Savannah, General Pulaski was mortally wounded and he died a war hero at the age of 34. We will never forget Pulaski's sacrifices and his contributions to American independence. His legacy lives on in the vibrant Polish-American community, especially here in Illinois. And today's celebration is the perfect example of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman, for those words of encouragement on Pulaski Day. One of the things here at the museum, nothing happens without the staff. And my job is made so much easier with the tremendous work that my staff does here. I'm putting on events, I'm putting on tours, and making sure that this museum functions. I'd like to thank the staff for doing a yeoman's work under the direction of Małgorzata Kot, who's the executive director. Our next speaker, and also our final speaker, we saved the best for last, is someone who is known to all of us. Comes from a family who has been involved in Polonia for well over 120 years. Her grandmother was a pillar of the community. Her father was a pillar of the community, not only the Polonia, but also of the political community as well. Please welcome the Honorable Judge Aurelia Puciński.
Good morning. And thanks to all of you for being here, and welcome to all of my colleagues and who are elected officials. It is important for elected officials to be here to join with us and to talk to everybody, so I'm glad when they do it. We celebrate the life of Kazimierz Pulaski not only because he was a hero who died for our country, but because he was a man of action who lived his belief that freedom and liberty are worth fighting for. He came here after fighting the cruelty of Russia's czars in his own Poland. Today we see the same cruel Russian leadership trying to steal the liberty and freedom of Ukraine. Pulaski would not have stood for that, and neither should we. We must tell our federal elected officials from the top down that they must do something to save Ukraine. Thank you. Poles know what a slow death communism brings to a nation. We know that Poland itself is doing everything possible to protect Ukraine. and Poles should be demanding that America do the same thing before it is too late, before Russia is marching on the borders of Poland. Poles besides Pulaski have made a lasting impression on America. Tadeusz Kościuszko, of course, built the fortifications at West Point. We started here in 1608 as workers in Jamestown Colony. We stopped working there to demand the right to vote and to own land, to have the freedom and liberty that were so important to this nation. Alexander Krzycz founded the first college in New York in 1659. Haym Salomon helped finance the American Revolutionary War. We started coming to Chicago in the 1830s and throughout the years worked in factories, packing houses, steel mills, and coal mines. We worked hard and helped create the city we love. We built churches across the cityscape, from St. Casimir to St. Stanislaus Kostka. Those beautiful churches gave life to their communities and showed everyone the love and devotion Poles had to their religion. We devoted our lives to business, the arts, education, and politics. We vote and we run for office. Piotr Kolbasa was elected the city treasurer in 1891, the city's first American elected official. Ted Strawinski, at age 18, was the first recorded victim of the Civil War. Konstantin Piedzielski was the first Union officer killed in the Civil War. By the 1870s, there were 400,000 Poles in America. By World War I, 25,000 Polish Americans served in the armies, in the nation's armed forces. Later, Steve Wozniak was a co-founder of Apple. Andrew Piotowski pinpointed the exact source of the Amazon River, and Martha Stewart taught us all how to cook, making delicious things. A.J. Brzezinski helped the White Sox win a World Series. Stephanie Kowalik helped invent Kevlar, which protects our police officers and military from bullets. Paul Barron created the foundation of the internet. Edward Roszensky invented the way to make gasoline into petroleum. Ralph Majewski is still recognized as America's greatest bridge builder. Tadeusz Sensimer invented modern steel. Henry Magnuski invented the wartime walkie-talkie that has become our cell phones. Roman Paczynski passed the congressional resolution that required black boxes on commercial airplanes. Thank you. There are 900,000 residents of Polish heritage in Cook County alone. Poles have and continue to do things that are important to America. We raise good children, we work hard, we own businesses, we hire workers, we help our communities. This year we celebrate the 250th anniversary of America's independence. We are committed to freedom, free markets, and the rule of law. And, like Pulaski, we would fight and die for freedom itself and be steadfast in urging our American government to do the same with true commitment to liberty, human dignity, and the sovereignty not only of Ukraine, but all free nations who ended the choking grip of communism but are threatened today. We celebrate Pulaski by following his example, by being people of action, people committed to liberty, and people who speak up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ori. And it's now we've come the time to honor Pulaski formally. I ask that everybody please rise. The Kościuszko Guards, with the assistance of the officers of the Polish Roman Catholic Union, the Polish National Alliance, the Consul General, and the President of the Polish American Congress, will lay down the wreath. Please remain standing. I call upon Fathers Zdzisław Torba, pastor of St. John Brevoort Parish in Niles.
As the last word belongs to God, and that's why I want to share with you with God's blessing that will stay with you for today's celebration, but also for the future of our community, for Poland, for United States of America, and for Polonia all over the world. Let us put ourselves before God. Almighty God, as we gather today to honor the legacy of General Kazimierz Pulaski, we give you thanks for all the distinguished guests who represented Poland, Polonia, our state and our country. As we have heard from them words about General Kazimierz Pulaski, courage, his dedication to freedom, and his sacrifice in the fight for liberty, and his bravery on the battlefields of the American Revolution, where he risked his life to defend the cause of justice against tyranny. We ask you, as we finish today's celebration, to guide us to emulate his spirit of selflessness, his unwavering commitment to what is right, and his willingness to stand up for the opposed. May his example inspire us to actively work towards a more just and equitable world, always upholding the values of freedom and democracy that he fought so violently to protect. Bless our community, both nations, Poland and United States and Polonia all over the world, and all those who continue to carry the torch of liberty ignited by General Pulaski. May his memory live on in our hearts and in our actions as we strive to be worthy of the legacy he left behind. All our new activities and tasks for Polonia among Paul's points on God and the values which remind us today's celebration that the whole human life go farther than worldly borders and time. As one of the famous Polish poets, Jan Kochanowski, wrote, especially the way to heaven is open for those who serve country as patriot. And may Almighty God bless us. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you.
Please join us in closing our program with God Bless America. On behalf of the Polish Museum of America and the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, thank you to all the participants, to all the speakers, to all who contributed in making this day a success. Thank you for all those who came here to be part of it, and we wish you a happy, happy day. Happy Pulaski Day. We'll see you next year for 2027. Thank you.